I'm very pleased to meet you all online. My name is Stephen Law. I'm going to talk to you for a little bit now about the about the Certificate of Higher Education. Let me just make sure everyone is admitted. Great. Okay, so yeah, this is an online information session. For your information, this event will be recorded and it will help us if you would make sure that your cameras and your microphones are switched off. So if you could do that, just click the little camera and microphone icon in order to make sure the cameras are switched off. If you would like to ask a question, you can use the chat box function. Well, that's what it says here, but actually I believe that there's a Q&A button at the top near or next to the people button, and I think actually we'll use the Q&A button for you to ask questions at the end and not the chat box function. So during this webinar, I'm going to introduce myself, say a little bit about me. Then I'm going to look at details of the course, including how, where and what you can study. Then we'll be looking at benefits of studying with us at Oxford. And then finally, I'll look at how to apply. So a little bit about me. I have an unusual background for an academic because actually I don't have any A-levels. I entered university as a mature student without A-levels at the age of 24, having previously been, amongst other things, a postman. However, once I entered the university system, I've never left. I've been an academic ever since. I finished my degrees at City University and University of Oxford, and I'm now finally course director here for the Certificate of Higher Education. I'm also a departmental lecturer in philosophy and director of studies for philosophy, so I'm in charge of the philosophy provision. At the bottom of the screen there you can see my email address if you want to email me later on. Just make a note of that email address and you can contact me whenever you like about anything at all. I'd be happy to respond. So I'm going to give you an overview of the course now. The key thing about this course is that it's extremely flexible. You decide exactly what you want to study, how you study, and where you study. You gain credit by taking short courses. Typically, you get 10 credit points for each short course, and you need to build up 120 points over the course as a whole. You study part-time for between 2 and 4 years. Some people do it in 2, most people take longer than that. You can take up to 4 years to complete the certificate. You will be taught at the same level as the first year of an undergraduate degree, which is otherwise known as level 4. So all of our courses will be level 4 courses, and there are no formal entry qualifications at all. You don't need any kind of prior qualification. You don't need a degree, you don't need A-levels, you don't need anything in order to apply to do the Certificate of Higher Education. As the course progresses, during the course you will gain credit, what are known as CATS points, by attending either weekly classes in Oxford in person, so that's an option if you are living in Oxford or reasonably near Oxford. You can also attend them online. We also have short, flexible online courses that are asynchronous, so you can log on and do the course at any time to suit you. We also have the Oxford University Summer School for Adults. You can take a 1-week course. The summer school runs for 5 weeks, and you can take a 1-week course, and that too will gain you 10 CATS points. In your first year, you'll take an introductory course in your main subject area. So you'll choose a main subject area, and there will be a mandatory course that you need to take in that area, and you'll get 10 CATS points for taking that course. And we do also require that everyone does an academic literacy course, which is an online course, and which everyone seems to benefit from a great deal. Even people that have degrees and so on find that they do benefit a great deal by taking our academic literacy course, which helps you, acquire and hone the basic skills that you're going to need to study, how to reference an article, how to produce a bibliography, how to structure your essay or assignment, and so on. Other than that, though, you choose which courses you want to do. So you have to do the mandatory introductory course, you have to do the academic literacy course, but otherwise you choose the rest. You can choose to study mainly online, almost entirely online, but there is a face-to-face requirement. So of the 120 CATS points that you need to accumulate over the 2 to 4 years, you need to acquire 10, that's to say one course, 10 CATS points by attending face-to-face in person. That's to say you have to come to Oxford, and that could be in the form of a in-person weekly class spread over 10 weeks. But if you're not based in the UK, by far the most convenient way of meeting this face-to-face requirement is to attend the Oxford University Summer School for Adults, which, as I say, runs for 5 weeks over the summer. You can attend a 1-week course, and that would tick the box of you will have met the face-to-face requirement. It's also possible to import these credit points from short courses that you have already completed with us. So if you're interested now in the Cert HE because you've previously taken some of our courses and have acquired CATS points, well, you can import some of those CATS points, up to 30, into the Cert HE. So that means that you don't have to get 120 CATS points. You need only acquire 90 CATS points during the course. These are the main subject areas. So we have archaeology, art history, architectural history, English literature, creative writing, history, philosophy, and political economy. You will choose one of those main subject areas, and you will do 6 to 8 courses in your main subject area. And that would include the mandatory core introductory course. So 60 to 80 of the 120 CATS points you will acquire by taking courses in your main subject area. But you are required to obtain a further 30 to 50 CATS points completing courses that lie outside of your main subject area. It could be just one other area that you choose to explore. Maybe you're doing philosophy and you decide that you want to do a little bit of architectural history as well. That would be fine. Or you can sample several different subject areas outside of your main subject area. It's entirely up to you. You have a very wide range of subjects to choose from, not just the 8 subjects that we've just looked at. For example, there are all sorts of courses on offer, from courses in science to music, modern languages, and so on. The programme is designed in this way specifically to encourage a breadth of study, so that you're not just locked into one particular subject box. The assessment is in 2 parts, essentially. You will do courses, modules, and you will need to pass those by writing typically by writing an assignment that's set for you, and those are pass-fail. You need only pass the coursework requirement for the particular modules that you have chosen. You will also, though, write 3 additional written assignments, and these, I think, are what make this particular certificate program unique and special. So you will get to work with an assessor, a subject specialist, who will help you, guide you in writing your 3 additional assignments. These come due as you hit certain credit milestones. So 70 points, your first assignment comes due. 100 CATS points, your second assignment comes due, and then 120 CATS points, your third assignment comes due. And you will work with your assessor to prepare your assignment, and those 3 additional assignments are given a numerical grade, and that numerical grade then does carry over to your final award mark, and it will determine whether you might get a merit or a distinction, for example. The modules, on the other hand, are simply pass-fail, and you need only pass them. There are no written examinations at the end of the course. Is this course going to be right for you? Well, first of all, as I've already pointed out, you don't need any formal academic qualifications in order to enrol on the Certificate of Higher Education. But of course, you do need to meet certain criteria. We are looking for people who have a real, genuine interest in the subject area that they have proposed to specialise in. And you do need to make time available over the 2 to 4 years, and you do need to be motivated enough to complete within those 2 to 4 years. So we need to check that you're fully aware of what it is that you're taking on, and that you'll have the time and the resources to successfully complete. But as I say, it's up to you exactly how intensively you wish to study. You can take up to 4 years, or some people choose to do it in just 2 years. That is a possibility. You will be able to demonstrate your ability to study at university level by completing the Certificate of Higher Education. You will have successfully completed what is in effect a first year of undergraduate study. And this could help you in various ways. It might help you with career progression or career change, perhaps. It can, in some circumstances, be used as the first step towards perhaps taking a full degree in your chosen subject area. And it certainly can help raise your confidence, and it gives you a goal that you can aim towards, so that you have a structured program in front of you. You work your way through that. If you've already taken some of our courses, then you'll understand the attraction of the particular courses, but this will be a structured program that will include working with a supervisor or assessor to complete your 3 additional assignments. There are some pretty impressive benefits to signing up with the Cert-HE. One is that you get a university card, like any other student of the University of Oxford, which will give you access to all of the libraries of the university, Bodleian libraries. You will be able to physically go in those libraries if you are present here, or you can access them online, and you will be taught how to access the resources that are available in these libraries online. You will also have the opportunity, if you wish, to attend an awards ceremony once you've successfully completed the Cert-HE. There's an awards ceremony to which you will be invited. You can physically come to Oxford and receive your award in person from me and the university in the very grand indeed iconic Sheldonian theatre. If you wish to apply, this is what you need to do. We're looking for a 400-word written statement that sets out why you wish to choose your chosen main subject area, why that's the thing for which you have a passion. We are looking for a short piece of written work, around about 1,000 words, perhaps a little bit less than that is relevant to your main subject area. If you go to the web page for the CertHE, you can get a lot more information on exactly what it is that we're looking for, particularly when it comes to that piece of written work. And then if English is not your first language, we would require proof of English language ability. And then finally, we will need contact details for one referee. That could be an academic referee, but it doesn't have to be. It could be somebody, an employer, for example, or someone else that's in a position to comment on your suitability. It does not have to be a university academic or anything like that. So those are the things that you need to provide us if you apply. There's a lot more information available on our website. If you go to www.conted.ox.ac.uk/certhe, you'll find there's lots of information there. You may also want to email the administrator, Christina, at certhe@conted.ox.ac.uk, although bear in mind that she's often very busy and it may take her a day or two at least to get back to you. Or you can email me, Stephen with a PH .law@conted.ox.ac.uk. I'll be happy to respond to any emails. There are some application deadlines that I can tell you about. The first deadline is the 15th of February 2024, and we would encourage you to apply by that first deadline if you can. However, there is a second deadline of the 2nd of May 2024. If you don't get your application in by the 15th of February, then it will carry over to the 2nd of May deadline. If you apply and we like the look of your application, you will be interviewed by myself and a subject area specialist, in which case I look forward to meeting you online for an interview. Thank you very much for listening. I hope that's been useful. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to encourage you to ask any questions. I'm sure some of you have questions. I suggested a minute ago that you go to the Q&A button in your screen there. You should see, especially if you make it big enough, you'll see that it says chat Q&A people. If you hit the Q&A button, then on the right hand side you will be able to type your questions in and I can attempt to answer your questions, and Christina will also be able to provide answers and information too. So I can see that I already have some questions there. So let me go through them. So I think it's Charles. What is the timeline once we submit our application? Well, as I say, there are two deadlines, 15th of February and the 2nd of May. You will then be contacted about an interview if we think your application looks up to scratch, and there will be an interview. And then after the interview, you will hear from us within a few weeks. Typically, I think 3 weeks is what we say. So that's roughly the timeline. Somebody's just asked, do I suggest any preparatory courses? Yes, you could certainly sign up now and do a course in your main subject area, for example. And if you sign up for credit, you can then import the credit into the Cert HE. So that will mean that's a little bit less that you need to do whilst you're actually registered on the Cert HE. Let me scroll down a little bit. Any financial aid? I'm not in a position to comment on that. Christina might wish to say a little bit about that. There is some aid possible. I don't know if Christina wants to type in an answer, if we can do that here, or whether you want to comment, Christina.
Sure, I will comment. It's easier. If you go onto our main website, the CertHE page, and scroll, you have to scroll all the way down to the bottom. We have links embedded on the website that will take you to student support. And if you need financial aid, there are bursaries available. We have people that are on Student Finance England, or if you're from America, we have some people with Fannie Mae and some other student loan things. We also do, and this is for UK residents only, a concessionary fee for 50% off each individual course, which can help as well. But scroll down to the bottom of our webpage and you can find the links, and I'm happy to send them to you as well.
Great, thanks, Christina. Yeah. Stephanie Ann Foster asks, is there a limit to the number of CATS points we can import from modules completed before we officially begin the programme? And the answer is yes, you can import up to 30, or 3 courses worth of CATS points if they've been taken within the preceding 4 years. Okay. So if it's like courses you took 10 years ago, unfortunately, they're not going to count. But if you've taken 3 courses for credit within the last 4 years, or the 4 years preceding your registration, those 30 CATS points can be imported. And those can be courses in any subject area, not necessarily your core subject area. Ashelina has asked me a question here. How competitive is it to get into? Well, it is competitive, but it's not that competitive. I would strongly, if this is something that you are passionate about, if subject area is something you're passionate about, and you feel that you have the time and the motivation, then do please apply, because that's exactly what we're looking for. People that have a passion and they have the motivation, and we will be looking very sympathetically at your application if that's the case. More importantly, would I struggle with transfer of credit into a good university for an undergraduate degree once I have completed this certificate? Okay, now this is a complicated issue. There isn't really a way of importing the first year equivalent that you will have completed by taking the Cert HE into most undergraduate degree programs. But there are some that will allow you to do that. I think Leicester University have, for some students, this is not all automatic, but for some students, I think they have successfully started at year 2 as a result of having taken the Cert HE previously. But this is pretty non-standards, and we certainly can't make any promises or guarantees about what other institutions might wish to do. So, yeah, what it is, though, the Cert HE, is it's extremely good preparation for a degree programme. And if you have successfully completed a Cert HE, it will be very clear that you're perfectly capable of successfully completing a full degree program, and so you can demonstrate your ability and your determination and motivation by taking the Cert HE first. To what extent do we get faculty support? There's a great deal of support. There is the support provided by the admin people who will be constantly each term, telling you exactly what you've completed and what you need to do next. You get regular reminders about your, how many CATS points you've acquired, when you're going to hit your first credit milestone, what you then need to do, and so on. So there's that kind of support being provided. There is the academic literacy course, which is going to provide you with support so far as acquiring the kind of academic and intellectual skills that you're going to need to successfully complete. There are other forms of support available that are available to all Oxford University students in terms of challenges that you might have, that you might need to meet. That there are all sorts of support services available to you. And then there's the support provided by the academics, the academic staff. In particular, the key person for you would be your assessor, as they're known. It's a bit of a misnomer, assessor, because really they're your supervisor. They will be helping you, guiding you when it comes to those 3 assignments. I've got a question answered. Good. What are the reference requirements? Nothing specific, other than we would like to see a reference from someone that can talk about your passion for the subject and your motivation and perhaps your organisational abilities and whatever other abilities and so on would be relevant. Perhaps talk a little bit about your experience and why that might be helpful. So there's no rule about exactly what needs to be in a reference, other than the person needs to be saying something about your suitability for the particular course. And as I say, it does not have to be an academic that provides the reference. It could be an employer. That would be fine. Can I use existing credits from previous short courses? Asks Jane Vass. Yes, you can. You can import, as I mentioned, up to 30 CATS points from courses taken within the preceding 4 years, if those are level 4 courses. Okay, is there an age limit? No, we'll take. You can be 100 and sign up for the Cert HE. But as I say, if you are under 18, then we will need to look at your application carefully and think about safeguarding and some other issues. But we have students that are younger. Do you suggest any preparatory courses? Yeah, I think I answered this already. Yeah, why not take a course in your preferred subject area? And then if you like it, that'll be 10 CATS points that you can import straight away into your Cert HE. If I'm doing a short course starting in January, how will those credit points be transferred if the deadline is of the 15th of February? They're transferred once you are accepted, once the course starts in September. That's when they would be transferred over. So you would have successfully completed by September, obviously, and then we will import those CATS points. How does the tutorial system online compare to in person? Well, in many cases, people will see their supervisor or assessor online only, because they're not based in the UK. However, even if you're not based in the UK, you might arrange to see your supervisor in person whilst you're attending a summer school, for example. So that has happened in the past. Somebody comes here for a week to tick that face-to-face box. They're at a summer school. If your assessor is based, and not all of them are, but if your assessor is based in Oxford, then you could meet your assessor face-to-face at that point. But usually, for the most part, assessors are people that you meet with online. Sometimes face-to-face, but usually online, and you have the opportunity to meet them for 30 minutes to discuss your work, to make plans, to think about reading lists. You decide exactly what it is that you're going to work on and research and produce your assignment on. You are not simply set a question and expected to answer it. You work with the assessor to hone a question or a topic, and you agree, you know, that's something that you come to an agreement about, and then you start work. Personal tutor is allocated similar to assessor, but before 70 CATS points are reached. You don't have a personal tutor separate from your assessor. Your assessor basically is your personal tutor. We encourage people to make contact with their tutors or their assessors fairly early on, actually, before the first credit milestone of 70 CATS points is reached. You can reach out to them, you can say hello, you can have a chat online, have a meeting with them. If you need guidance, you know, by all means go to them. That's what they're there for. They're there to provide you with some guidance. You can also come to me as the director of the Cert HE at any point, and I'll be more than happy to have a chat with you about your progress, about possibly you've decided that you wish to, you signed up for philosophy, say, and then you've decided that you don't want to do philosophy as your main subject, you want to do architectural history. That's okay. You're allowed to do that. So, you know, make contact with us, have a conversation with us, and we can make those kind of changes. The introductory courses, yes, the introductory course is the best one to take, says Christina, in terms of taking one before you apply for certification. I have some online courses that I was not able to complete for medical reasons, but was successful at USA. Do those count against me? No, of course not. No. You might wish to explain in your application exactly what the situation was, and we will certainly bear that in mind. But no, that does not count against you if there was some medical reason. Of course not. What, if any, possible referees aren't proficient in English? Well, we would need to see a reference in English. So you would need to ensure that they could have it translated into English for us, because we don't have the facility for translating in that way. So please, could you do that? Can I apply for both the undergraduate certificate of higher education and the English undergraduate certificate of higher education? You can do that. You can apply for both, but you can't do both simultaneously. You're not allowed to pursue two of these courses simultaneously. Is the transfer of CATS strictly limited to 30 points? I am afraid it is. Han would like to ask about proof of English language ability. There are exemption situations. I'm currently studying law second year. Am I eligible to get an English exemption? I would have to go away and check the Cert HE page, because there is a whole section specifically on that, which I don't have to hand.
And I'm sorry, Dr. Law.
Yeah.
And if your course is in English, you can get a waiver, an English language waiver. That's all explained on the website, on the university website that you could go onto and look. But I do want to say that if you are currently in a full-time university course, we cannot accept you.
Yeah. How long are completed short courses valid for applying? Is the question in terms of importing CATS points?
They must be taken within 4 years of being
Yes.
accepted.
Yeah. Okay. So if you took the course 5 years ago, unfortunately you can't import the CATS points, but up to 4 years before registration, those CATS points can be imported, up to 30 of them. May I do all of the certification in a year? No, you may not. You have to take at least 2 years. I don't think it would be possible to complete it in a year. But in any case, you're not permitted to do that. You have to take at least 2 years. Can the Cert HE generally be used to apply for undergraduate entry to other universities, or is it mostly limited to Oxford and OU, Open University? Yeah, you can. I mean, you can use it in, as evidence of your ability to work successfully at undergraduate level in any application to any university. And I think that it would be very, it would stand you in good stead. It would demonstrate your academic ability, your passion for the subject, your motivation, your organizational skills, and so on. So you can use it in that way. As I mentioned earlier. Is it open to graduates, or should we be looking at postgraduate programs for continuing education? Yes, it's certainly open to graduates, and we have, well, so some people will have graduated in one subject, perhaps, and then occasionally later on in life they suddenly realize that they have a passion for some other subject area in which they do not have a degree. We have a lot of people on our Cert HE that are in that position, and so they are graduates, but the Cert HE is perfect for them. We also have people who do the Cert HE in a particular subject area despite having a degree in that subject area, but that would be unusual, and you probably would want to look at a postgraduate program if you already have a degree in that specific subject area. Is it possible to get an exemption from the academic practice, or I guess literacy module? I already have a PhD, so I think I'm fairly familiar with academic practice. The answer is no, you have to do the academic literacy course, but I have to say, we have people who have PhDs that have done the academic literacy course and have said that they were very glad that they did it. They gained a great deal from it. So you might think, well, I couldn't possibly earn anything from an academic literacy course, given that I'm so far progressed within academia. But even people that are very senior have commented on just how useful the academic literacy course is. So I think it's a good idea to do it, and in any case, it is a requirement. Let me just check I haven't missed somebody out. Oh, how many applicants per place on average? Off the top of my head, I couldn't say, but we are able to place a good number of applicants, a decent percentage. Can the 1,000-word short piece be an essay written for a previous course, or does it have to be new? No, it can be something that you've written for a previous course. It could be something that you've written for a previous course that you've taken with us, even. That would be okay. It can be an article written for a newspaper too. That would be fine also. It could be something that you've previously published. I know we have to pay for individual courses, but does the £1,600 have to be paid every year? Yes, that is correct, every year. Christina has confirmed that also. Is it possible to receive a reference from a tutor of a previously taken course? Yes, it is. The only wrinkle is that if it's a course in the subject area for which you are applying, and the referee is the assessor, then there's a problem, because the assessor will be making a judgment about whether or not to accept you, but they will also be your referee. So there's a kind of, we're not allowed to then use their reference, but otherwise there's no problem. We have many students using our tutors as referees. You can do that. That's not a problem generally. What is included in the £1,600? Not the courses, but everything else. The assessors, the administrative support, everything else, but not the specific courses. Those are paid for separately. Is it possible to pay for the first year in some sort of financial agreement before next September over the year, and for those payments to be ongoing for year 2? Christina has said yes, we do have a payment plan available. I'm interested in political economy as an area.
Can I just jump in there?
Yeah,
Dr.
of course.
Law.
Sure.
For the payments, you can't prepay. If that's what I might have missed misread that, but you cannot prepay for the certificate. We will send you an invoice with specific directions on it that tell you how to pay, and you contact our finance department and they can work out a 3 to 5 payment plan.
Yeah, great, thanks. I'm interested in political economy as the main area of the subject. Which one would you suggest to start with? Well, any course in political economy would be probably be suitable, but the introductory course would be a very obvious place to start. So take a look at that. Our interviews generally focused on our knowledge and interest in the subject we are specifically applying to study. Yeah, we will be asking you about that specific area, and we will be looking at the short piece that you have submitted and asking you some questions about that typically, as well as about your background and your interest and so on. So it would be the main subject area that would be the focus of the interview so far as academic content is concerned. Yeah, that's right. Can you get 10 CATS points for each summer school you attend? For example, if you took the summer school, oh dear, I can't quite read that, it's just underneath something, each year for 4 years, you can, yeah, you can take CATS points from more than one summer school, but there is a limit, and I can't remember off the top of my head what it is, but I think it might be 3. You don't remember, do you, Christina?
I thought it was 2, but we can
Oh,
check that out and get a definitive answer.
yeah, more than one, but we can't remember whether it's 2 or 3. Okay. Does the Jose, sorry, says, does the departmental fee remission scheme apply to all the courses you will be taking in the academic year, or is it similar to departmental concessionary fee scheme that is limited to 3 courses per academic year?
It's limited to the 3
Okay,
courses.
thanks. I've signed up and paid for the academic literacy course January, April, and critical reading April to June. Will I still have to pay the full course fee for the certificate of higher education? Yeah, you still pay the course fee because these courses are charged independently. Oh, hang on though, no, wait. Academic literacy is included in the course fee, isn't it, Christina?
It is. It is, but there is no, we don't reimburse for academic literacy.
Okay. So the answer is yes, you will. Can undergraduates at another university full-time take the summer short courses? Well, yeah, you can take the summer short courses, of course. You just can't be enrolled on the Cert HE, if I've understood your question. If a student decides to do a semester for 10 weeks, does the university help with accommodation? I think the answer is typically no. The department isn't in a position to offer accommodation, certainly not for free. However, I mean, this is true that the department has accommodation which it makes available as a sort of on booking.com, I believe. And so potentially you could pay for even accommodation within the department, but I think that would be prohibitively expensive for very many people.
I don't believe they allow 10 weeks at a time.
No. Okay.
Within our department. However, we do have had people in the past who have come and done a Airbnb or rented student accommodation, but we do not, that's not part of what, we cannot help you with that. That is
no, I was just wondering if because I know that, you know, because I was surprised to see that you can actually book our accommodation online through booking.com, but 10 weeks, maybe that's just impossible in any case. And yeah, Airbnb would be a much better bet. Is the introductory course included in the £1,600? I don't believe it is it?
No.
Christina, no, but the academic literacy course is.
It is.
Yeah. Can you book the university accommodation for summer school? Yeah, well, the department has accommodation available for summer school students, and very many of these students that come to take a 1 week summer school stay with us. They're physically present in the building. Can we join the Oxford Student Union? I believe you can. Do you know about that, Christina? I mean,
I believe you can. I'd have to find the specific information.
Yeah.
But you would not be full. You would not be a full member as you are a part-time student.
Yeah. Can you take multiple summer 1 week courses to count towards the 120 credits? Like take 2 back to back and receive 20 credits for that summer? Yes, you can do that. Christina thinks that you're capped at 20. I can't remember. I thought it was 30. She's probably right, though. It's probably 20. So you can take more than one summer school and you can do them in the same summer. Yeah. So you come to Oxford for 2 weeks, do 2 courses, acquire 20 CATS points. That's fine.
You could actually take as many summer courses as you want, but we'd only be able to bring over a certain amount of CATS points. Yeah,
exactly. Might you speak to the benefits of completing the certificate rather than completing 12 modules about which you are passionate? I'm an overseas student, so that's a lot of money. No, I understand. Okay, yeah. What are the best arguments for paying the extra money? I would say that you are getting a program of study that includes one-to-one tutorial support with an expert in the subject area. So it is much more of a kind of an Oxbridge style experience, because you do have that one-to-one contact with a subject area specialist, and you do then work on your 3 assignments, research assignments with them. That is perhaps the most important thing that you get if you enroll on the Cert HE. And then you come away with a numerical grade from each of those assignments, which then gives you a numerical grade for the certificate. So you could get a merit or a distinction, whereas the individual courses are simply pass-fail. What is the cost for each module? It varies. If you go online and look at some of the modules, you can see the costs there. Typically around about £340 per module. Summer schools are going to be more expensive, particularly if you have accommodation involved. How long does each module take to complete? Typically 10 weeks. But if it was a summer school, then it's 1 week, obviously. It's much more intensive, but typically 10 weeks. Is the £1,600 admin fee chargeable every year? Yes, it is. Yeah. So if you do it in 2 years, you pay that twice. If you do it in 4 years, you pay it 4 times. How many courses in each field are typically available online each semester? It varies from course area to course area, but if you go on the website, you can see just how many there are in any subject area. Okay, in terms of volume of work, how many hours on average do students have to set aside? Okay, well, it depends on it, how fast you're going, how many courses you're doing. We recommend that you start gently and then you can accelerate if you wish. A module is thought to be 100 hours, 10 hours a week work, roughly, but there are students that put in a lot more work than that, as well as some students that put in a bit less than that. But that's roughly the ballpark figure, 100 hours per module. Looking at more questions, but these all seem to be ones I've answered. So I've got a feeling we've answered most of them. So thank you very much for attending this session. I hope it was helpful. If you have further questions, email me, and I will. I'll get back to you. So don't forget, it's Stephen with a PH dot law, LAW, at conted.ox Email me and I'll get back to you if you have further questions. Don't be shy. I'm happy to receive email questions. Okay. Great to hear from you all, and hopefully we will one day meet in person. Everyone that does the Cert AG will be doing a one-to-one, sort of a face-to-face course. And if you're in the States or Australia and you come over for a summer school, I will be there and I will meet you face to face. So if you are enrolled, hopefully I'll be meeting a great many of you in the future. Nice to see you today. Thank you very much for this, for attending, and goodbye. And hopefully you'll be in touch. Feel free to email. Thanks a lot.